Bear, Bayer, Bach, Brackett, Buckner-Webb, Cameron, Davis, Durst, Vulture, Getty, Guthrie, Hagedorn, Hyder, Hill, Johnson, Keogh, Lacey, Lakey, Lodge, Martin, McKenzie, Mortimer, Nonini, Nuxel, Patrick, Pierce, Rice, Schmidt, Sidaway, Stennett, Thane, Tippett, Vick, Work, Winder, Bayer, Brackett, Buckner-Webb, Cameron, Durst, Lakey, Lodge,
Senator Lodge.
McKenzie, Nonini, Rice,
Call shows 32 present, 3 absent, excused. Senator Lakey has an excused absent. Quorum being present, Senate will advance.
Our duty by false accusations against us, nor frightened from it by menaces of destruction to the government, nor of dungeons to ourselves. Let us have faith that right makes might. And in that faith, let us to the end dare to do our duty as we understand it. Now, if you or I had written those words, we would probably be dismissed as having unrealistic idealism or perhaps delusions of grandeur. It's a reminder that Abraham Lincoln's mark on our nation was not merely the result of uncommon times, but the effect of an uncommon man. May you be inspired by his example today as you do your work. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, the belief that right makes might is hard to sustain because right seems to so often lose. However, Lincoln's example and his words remind us today that right can win if we fight for it. Please continually enlighten and embolden the Senate to that end. Amen.
Now be led in Pledge of Allegiance by our Paige Brooks Nielsen. Brooks.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senate will advance to the third order of business. Reading corrections to journal. Senator Brackett will be marked as present at this order of business.
February 12, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that the Senate Journal of the proceedings of February 11, 2013 was read and approved as corrected. Lodge Chairman.
Report will be filed in the Office of Secretary. Senator Davis.
Privilege of the Senate, if I may.
You have the floor.
Mr. President, Senators, a quick roadmap for you. We have a lot of administrative work since today is the day after the 36th legislative day, and so just be aware we have quite a bit of that to do. It is our intent to get to the 10th order of business as quickly as possible. It is a long shot that we would get to the 13th order of business today. I am not currently optimistic about being able to complete all the work in the 10th order of business, not using yesterday as a barometer, however. But we do have quite a bit of work still in the 11th and the 12th order of business as well. So if you'd just be patient with us, but be prepared and ready to go on the 10th order of business. And if there are problems or concerns with the presentation, the need to present, or the ability to present any of the concurrent resolutions or the gubernatorial appointments, if you'd please call a member of majority leadership and let us know, I would appreciate it. Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to advance to the 6th order of business.
Without objection, Senator advance 6th order of business. Reports to Standing Committee. Senate's at the 6th order of business.
February 12, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that Senate Bill 1071, 1072, 1073, 1074, 1075, 1076, 1077, 1078, 1079, 1080, 1081, 1082, 1083, 1084, 1085, 1086, 1087, 1088, 1089, 1090, 1091, 1092, 1093, 1094, 1095, 1096, 1097, 1098, 1099, and Senate Bill 1100, Senate Concurrent Resolution 112 and 113, and Senate Joint Memorial 101 have been correctly printed. Lodge Chairman.
Senate Bills 1071, 1072, and 1073 will be referred to Health and Welfare Committee. Senate Bills 1074 and 1075 will be referred to State Affairs Committee. Senate Bill 1076 and 1077 will be referred to Finance Committee. Senate Bills 1078, 1079, 1080 will be referred to State Affairs Committee. Senate Bills 1081, 1082, 1083, and 1084 will be referred to Transportation Committee. Senate Bills 1085, 1086, 1087, 1088, 1089, 1090, 1091, 1092, 1093, 1094, 1095, 1096, 1097, and 1098 will all be referred to the Education Committee. Senate Bill 1099 will be referred to State Affairs Committee. Senate Bill 1100 will be referred to Commerce and Human Resources Committee. Senate Concurrent Resolution number 112 and number 113 will be referred to the 10th Order of Business and held for one legislative day, and Senate Joint Memorial 101 will be referred to the 10th Order of Business and held for one legislative day.
Mr. President.
Senator McKenzie.
Mr. President, I would ask unanimous consent that Senate Concurrent Resolution 112 and Senate Joint Memorial 101 be returned to committee, the State Affairs Committee. May I explain?
You may.
Thank you. These are our two issues. We had request from the committee on the motion that was made to print these that they come back to committee, and so I'm just trying to honor that committee's request.
Hearing no objection, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 112 and Senate Joint Memorial 101 will be referred to the State Affairs Committee.
Mr. President.
Senator Brackett.
President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate Concurrent Resolution 113 be referred to the Transportation Committee. May I explain?
You may.
It was the will expressed in the committee that they would like to have a hearing, and so as part of the motion to ask that that be referred back to the committee.
Hearing no objection, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 113 will be referred to the Transportation Committee.
There is no further business in the 6th order, Mr. President.
Mr. President, ask unanimous consent to advance to the 9th order of business.
Without objection, Senate advance to the 9th order of business. Messages from the House. Senate's at the 9th order of business.
February 11, 2013. Mr. President, I transmit herewith House Bill 10, 29, 76, 72, 17, and House Bill 43, which have passed the House. Alexander, Chief Clerk.
House Bills 10, 10, 29, 76, 72, 17, and 43 will all be referred to the 11th order of business for introduction.
There's no further business in the 9th order, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to advance to the 11th order of business.
Without objection, Senate advance the 11th order of business. Introduction, first reading of bills. Senate's at the 11th order of business. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that all bills on first reading be read by number, author, and title only, and the journal show they've been read at length.
Hearing no objections, so ordered.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 10 by Business Committee, an act relating to Idaho Residential Mortgage Practices Act, to define terms, to revise definitions, to provide a correct code reference, and to make a technical correction. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 29 by Judiciary Rules and Administration Committee, an act relating to judicial districts, to increase the number of judges in the 3rd Judicial Council and to increase the resident chambers in Canyon County, to increase the number of judges in the 4th Judicial District and to increase the resident chambers in Ada County, to increase the number of judges in the 7th Judicial District and to provide 1 resident chambers in Jefferson County. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 76 by Business Committee, an act relating to trust deeds, to revise a provision relating to an invalid trustee's sale. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 72 by Revenue and Taxation Committee, an act relating to income tax credits for charitable contributions, to provide for tax credit to dedicated accounts within the Idaho Community Foundation, Incorporated, that exclusively support charitable purposes otherwise qualifying for the tax credit. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 17 by Health and Welfare Committee, an act relating to the Board of Pharmacy, to revise terminology and to provide for practice into the state. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 43 by Commerce and Human Resources Committee, an act relating to the Economic Advisory Council for the Department of Commerce, to clarify that members of the Economic Advisory Council serve at the pleasure of the governor, and to provide that no more than 4 members of the Economic Advisory Council shall be from one political party.
House Bill 10 will be referred to the Commerce and Human Resources Committee. House Bill 29 will be referred to the Judiciary and Rules Committee. House Bill 76 will be referred to Commerce and Human Resources. House Bill 72 will be referred to Local Government Taxation. House Bill 17 will be referred to Health and Welfare, and House Bill 43 will be referred to Commerce and Human Resources.
There is no further business in the 11th order, Mr.
Senate
President.
advance the 12th order of business. Second reading bill. Senate's at the 12th order of business.
Mr. President.
Senator Tippett.
Mr. President, is Senate Bill 1042 in this order of business?
It is.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the statement of purpose and fiscal note currently attached to Senate Bill 1042 be replaced with the revised statement of purpose. May I explain briefly, Mr.
You may.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, the current statement of purpose and fiscal note on the attached to Senate Bill 1042 is accurate. However, some have requested a more complete statement of the fiscal impact. We felt that was a reasonable request. So we've had considerable discussion on that and have come up with the revised fiscal note that has been distributed to all of you, and that's what I'm asking to have replace the current statement of purpose and fiscal note attached to that bill. Thank you, Mr. President.
Hearing no objection, Senate Bill 1042 will have the new statement of purpose and fiscal note attached to the bill. Senator
Mr. President, I
Davis.
ask unanimous consent that all bills on second reading be read by number and author only, and the journal show they've been read.
Objection, so ordered.
In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 19 by Transportation and Defense Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 21 by Transportation and Defense Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 20 by Transportation and Defense Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 24 by Revenue and Taxation Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 25 by Revenue and Taxation Committee. In the House of Representatives, House Bill Number 52 by Revenue and Taxation Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill Number 1042 by Commerce and Human Resources Committee. In the Senate, Senate Bill Number 1013 by Health and Welfare Committee.
House Bills 19, 21, 20, 24, 25, and 52, Senate Bill 1042, and 1013 will all be referred to the 13th order of business, third reading.
Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate return to the 10th order of business.
Without objection, the Senate will return to the 10th order of business. Motion resolution. The Senate's at the 10th order of business and has for final consideration Senate concurrent resolution number 104. The Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 104 by State Affairs Committee, a concurrent resolution stating legislative findings and reaffirming the state of Idaho's commitment to the strong and deepening relationship between the state of Idaho and Taiwan.
Mr. President.
Senator Fulcher.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask unanimous consent that further reading of SCR 104 be dispensed with, and the Journal show has been read at length.
Without objection, so ordered. Senator Fulcher.
Mr. President, I move the adoption of SCR 104.
Senator Stennett.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 104. Senator Fulcher is recognized to open debate on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we initially had held this resolution to today because it was our understanding that we would have some friends here from Taiwan, and that got delayed a little bit. So they're actually not here today. That will be next week. They are coming, but nevertheless, we didn't want to push it on the calendar again. So I am asking for your consideration of this resolution today. Mr. President, good senators, the country of Taiwan has just been a wonderful trading partner to the state of Idaho. And we do approximately $800 million of trade per year with Taiwan. And it's across the board with a number of different products. Of course, electronics products, semiconductors is the biggest single component. However, we do trade in paper products, bulk ag products, food manufacturing products, machinery, chemicals. Even photographic cinematography products is a significant portion of this. And they've just been a wonderful trading partner. That business and that trade continues to grow. And, Mr. President, senators, this has grown steadily since 1984. And the relationship there has continued to grow, and the good producers, farmers, manufacturers in the state of Idaho are welcomed there with open arms by our friends in Taiwan. We want to see that to continue to grow, and this resolution is simply a reaffirmation of the commitment to the strong and deepening relationship between the state of Idaho and Taiwan, and we want to exhibit to that formally. And with that, Mr. President, debate is open.
For the debate on Senate Concurrent Resolution 104. Hearing no further debate, Senator Cameron will be recognized President of this order of business. Hearing no further debate, Senator Fulcher is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good senators, debate is closed.
Debate being closed. The question is, so the Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 104. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it, and the concurrent resolution has been adopted, and it will be transmitted to the House. The Senate now has for final consideration.
Mr. President.
Senator Davis.
Mr. President, ask unanimous consent that HCR 4 hold its place on the calendar to a date certain of February the 18th, 2013.
Hearing no objection, House Concurrent Resolution Number 4 will hold its place on the calendar till the 18th. The Senate now has for final consideration Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 105. Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 105 by Local Government and Taxation Committee, a concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and rejecting certain rules of the Idaho.
President.
Senator Rice.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of SCR 105 be dispensed with, and the Journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I move adoption of SCR 105.
Senator Buckner Webb.
I second the motion, Mr. President.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution 105. Senator Rice recognized to open debate on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, this concurrent resolution rejects three portions of some rules from the Board of Tax Appeals. The three are for some particular reasons. The changes, the first one that it rejects is one that eliminated liberal construction of pleadings and the ability of parties to amend pleadings in matters before the Board of Tax Appeals. The second one that's rejected is one that created a floating first day for counting periods when something's due. So it really was unclear, and the old language was clear on when you started counting and when you finished for things to be due. And the third one is rejected so that we can retain the requirement that decisions of the board include separate findings of fact and conclusions of law. We have a system that we can ask for reconsideration, but without findings of fact and conclusions of law, it's impossible to tell what you want them to reconsider, and so it makes it difficult to implement other portions. With that, debate is open.
Further debate on Senate Concurrent Resolution number 105. Hearing no further debate, Senator Rice will recognize closed debate.
Mr. President, debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will Senate adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution number 105? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nays. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and Senate Concurrent Resolution 105 will be transmitted to the House. Senate now has for final consideration Senate Concurrent Resolution number 106. The Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 106 by Resources and Environment Committee, a concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and rejecting a certain rule docket of the Idaho.
Mr. President.
Senator Baer.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of SCR 106 be dispensed with, and the journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator Baer.
Mr. President, I move the adoption of SCR 106.
Senator Lacey.
Mr. President, I second that.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution 106. Senator Baer is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this particular pending rule is found in docket number 13104-1202 and deals with landowner appreciation tags. We felt it was unrealistic to place restrictions on the transfer of those tags in the limited manner that was proposed. The rule effectively allowed only family members or direct employees to receive those tags as a transfer from the landowner. There is a particular farmer who has created a program, and with the tags that he receives, he provides hunts free of charge for those folks who are disabled. So since those disabled people are neither family members nor direct employees, that would essentially shut down that program. Therefore, we reject this docket number. So, with that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Debate being open. Is there further debate on Senate Concurrent Resolution number 106? Hearing no debate, Senator Baer is recognized. Closed debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will Senate adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution number 106? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The resolution has been adopted and be transmitted to the Senate. Senate now has, to the House, excuse me. Senate now has before it Senate Concurrent Resolution number 107. The Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 107 by Resources and Environment Committee, a concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and rejecting a certain...
Mr. President.
Senator Baer.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent for the reading of Senate Concurrent Resolution 107 be dispensed with, and the journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator Baer.
Mr. President, I move the adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 107.
Senator Lacey.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution number 107. Senator Baer is recognized to open debate on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senators, I apologize for getting all 5 of these. I'm going to have a discussion with the good chairman of the Resource Committee and find out what I've done wrong to offend him. This particular docket deals with disabled hunters. Last year, the legislature passed 2 bills, House Bills 457 and 525, that granted instructions and guidance for disabled hunters to be able to hunt using a companion. The rule, however, requires that whenever an animal has been downed and needs to be dispatched with, this rule requires that the individual who is assisting as a companion has to have a written statement of designation from the disabled hunter, which includes the hunter's name, address, hunting license number, big game tag number, and the dates of designation. It felt onerous. Therefore, the rule has been rejected. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Debate being open. Is there further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Bear is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, so the Senate adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution number 107. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The concurrent resolution has been adopted to be transmitted to the House. Senate now is for final consideration. Senate Concurrent Resolution number 108. The Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 108 by Resources and Environment Committee. A concurrent resolution stating findings of the legislature and rejecting a certain rule
Mr.
docket.
President.
Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of SCR 108 be dispensed with, and the journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I move Senate Concurrent Resolution 108.
Senator Lacey.
I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution number 108. Senator Bear is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the second docket that deals with landowner appreciation tags. As written, the rule has an incomplete sentence. May I read the sentence to see if anybody here can figure it out?
I'd be excited to hear.
Thank
Having
you.
identified the source, you may read.
I thought you would be grateful, Mr. President. Landowner appreciation hunts where the number of eligible landowners is less than twice the available tags or leftover landowner appreciation tags. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Further debate on Senate Concurrent Resolution number 108. Hearing no further debate, Senator Bear is recognized to close debate.
Mr. President, debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, the Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution number 108. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution has been adopted and be transmitted to the House. Senate now is for final consideration. Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109. Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109 by Resources and Environment Committee.
Mr. President.
Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent for the reading of Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109 be dispensed with, and the journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered. Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I move the adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 109.
Senator Lacey.
Mr. President, I again second this motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109. Senator Bear is recognized to open debate on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm grateful for the good senator for all those seconds. This is the second rule that deals with the disabled hunter issue. The last one which we spoke and accepted rejection dealt with big game. This one deals with retrieval of sandhill crane and turkey. If the disabled individual shoots a sandhill crane or a turkey, in order for his companion who is assisting him in hunting to be able to retrieve that sandhill crane and turkey, he must provide that have that same document on his self, which seems onerous. Debate is open.
Further debate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109. Hearing no further debate, Senator Bear is recognized to close debate.
Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, so the Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution number 109. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The concurrent resolution has been adopted to be transmitted to the House. Senate now is for final consideration. Senate Concurrent Resolution number 110. Secretary will read the resolution.
In the Senate, Senate Concurrent Resolution number 110 by Resources and Environment Committee. A concurrent resolution stating findings
Mr. President.
Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that further reading of Senate Concurrent Resolution 110 be dispensed with, and the journal show that it has been read at length.
Hearing no objection, so ordered.
Mr. President, I move adoption of Senate Concurrent Resolution 110.
Senator Lacey.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. Senate adopts Senate Concurrent Resolution number 110. Senator Bear is recognized to open debate on the resolution.
Mr. President, and lastly, we come to an inconsistency in policy concerning auction tags. Under the long-standing auction tag program, there was an exemption of the lifetime harvest policy for the winner of the auction tags. Last year, we passed the governor's tag bill, and it was the intent of those that drafted and carried the bill that there also be no lifetime harvest, that there would be a lifetime harvest exemption provided for governor's tags exactly as auction tags. Therefore, this piece of legislation, I recommend that we do not adopt and that we adopt this concurrent resolution.
And debate is open. Further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Bear is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, the Senate adopt Senate concurrent resolution number 110. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The resolution has been adopted. Other correction to title. Hearing none, the title is approved. Senate concurrent resolution number 110 will be transmitted to the House. Senate now has for final consideration a report of the Resources and Environment Committee on the appointment of Susan Buxton to the Parks and Recreation Board. The Secretary will read the report.
February 6, 2013. The Resources and Environment Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Susan Elizabeth Buxton to the Park and Recreation Board, term to expire July 1, 2018. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Pierce, Chairman.
Senator Brackett.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Mr.
Dr. Webb.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the report of the Resource and Environment Committee on the appointment of Susan Buxton to the Parks and Recreation Board. Senator Brackett is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the Senate, I rise in support of the nomination or the appointment of Susan Elizabeth Buxton to a 4-year term to the Idaho Parks and Recreation Board. For 4 generations, Ms. Buxton's family has enjoyed Idaho's great outdoors. They actively participate in motorized, non-motorized, and equestrian recreation. As city attorney, she has been involved in the acquisition, construction, and funding of parks and pathways, as well as facilitating access to state and federal lands for motorized recreation groups. Ms. Buxton is a graduate of Whitman College in Walla Walla, Washington. Received her Juris Doctorate from the University of Idaho College of Law in 1989, where she was symposium editor of the Idaho Law Review. She is licensed to practice law in Idaho, Oregon, and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Ms. Buxton is a founding partner of the law firm of Moore, Smith, Buxton, and Turk. Her work delves into the area of local government, public finance, education, natural resource, land use, employment, and government relations. Over the course of her career, Ms. Buxton has been involved in Girl State, Order of the Barristers, and clerk for a federal judge in Portland, Oregon, and as a judge on the Idaho Court of Appeals. It's very gratifying to have people of her caliber step up to volunteer for positions like this in public service. Ms. Buxton will bring great passion and perspective to the role on the Idaho Parks and Recreation Board. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
The debate on the committee report. Hearing no further debate, Senator Brackett is recognized to close debate.
Debate is closed, Mr. President.
Debate being closed. The question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Resource and Environment Committee on the appointment of Susan Buxton to the Parks and Recreation Board? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Resources and Environment Committee on the appointment of Bill Booth to the Northwest Power Planning Council. The Secretary will read the report.
February 6, 2013. The Resources and Environment Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of William B. Booth to the Northwest Power and Conservation Council, term to expire January 15, 2016. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Pierce, Chairman.
Senator Bear.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Lacey.
Mr. President, I second.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the report of the Resource and Environment Committee. Senator Bear is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. William B. Booth has been reappointed to the Northwest Power Conservation Council to serve a term from 2013 to 2016. Mr. Booth was first appointed to the council in 2007 by the gentleman on the second floor, and also serves as a member of the gentleman's cabinet. A little bit about that Northwest Power Council. It has 3 specific responsibilities. 1, to develop a regional power plan that looks at 20 years into the future, and they revise that plan every 5 years. Two, they are required to have a program to protect, mitigate, and enhance fish and wildlife that has been affected by the hydro dams on the Columbia River Basin. And lastly, the council is to conduct its business in public and also to inform and involve Northwest citizens in its decision making. Mr. Booth was elected not long after he started serving on the council to be the chairman of the council, and has also served as the chairman of the subcommittee of the council's Fish and Wildlife Committee. Mr. Booth has extensive experience in negotiating state and federal settlements and agreements that deal with environmental permits, both in the public and private sector. Mr. Booth grew up on a ranch near Post Falls and is a 50-year Idaho resident. He has been a United States Air Force officer, vice president of Hecla Mining Company, and as an instructor at North Idaho College, taught both micro and macroeconomics, environmental economics, and accounting. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Idaho and is a distinguished military graduate. He earned an MBA while serving in the Air Force. I highly recommend that we adopt the committee report. With that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Debate being open. Is there further debate on the committee report? Hearing no further debate, Senator Baer is recognized to close debate.
Mr. President, thank you. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. The question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Resource Environment Committee on the appointment of Bill Booth to the Northwest Power Planning Council? All in favor say aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Health and Welfare Committee on the appointment of Britt Robbenheimer to the Commission on Blind and Visually Impaired. The Secretary will read the report.
February 6, 2013, the Health and Welfare Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Britt Robbenheimer to the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, term to expire July 1, 2015. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Hyder, Chairman.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Buckner-Webb.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Moved and seconded that the Senate adopt the report of the Health and Welfare Committee. Senator Keogh is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President and Senators. It's my privilege to carry this confirmation, and I appreciate the chairman of the committee allowing me this opportunity. And the good chairman talked a little bit about Britt Robbenheimer yesterday, and I want to build on that if you remember that at all. Britt is an amazing person and truly is inspirational. I first met her close to 10 years ago before she lost her eyesight. She is currently on the Idaho Commission for Blind and Visually Impaired, and her background is she's got a Bachelor of Arts in Physics, and she has a PhD in ocean physics. And her work, currently she's a scientist with the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. And she lives in my district that commutes across the world to study the ocean and provide scientific data for our military to use in that work. She was fully sighted when I first met her, and as I grew to know her, she gradually lost her sight. She's now legally blind. And for many other people, losing your sight and for the work that she does may have set them down in a chair. But yet Britt moved forward as she utilized the services that the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired provide to help retrain her to carry out her everyday life. She really truly is inspirational and motivational when you listen to what she does. She scuba dives. She has to travel alone most of the time with her guide dog, and to cities that she is unfamiliar with. She's a very brave person, and she has mustered through. She's figured out how to fry an egg without getting burnt. And more importantly than that, if you can believe that within her own self and her motivation to continue, she is sharing that experience and offering assistance to others in our state through her service on this commission and through starting support groups where similarly impacted folks gather together either in person or over the phone from across the state to share tips about how to live with this disability. She truly is an inspiration. She brings a wealth of scientific background and budgetary background skills to this commission, and I would urge your support for confirmation of this reappointment. And with that, Mr. President, debate is open.
Further debate on the committee report. Hearing no further debate, Senator Keogh is recognized to close debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed, the question is, shall the Senate adopt the report of the Health and Welfare Committee on the appointment of Britt Robbenheimer to the Commission on Blind and Visually Impaired? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has the report of the Judiciary and Rules Committee on the appointment of Kimberly Jo Simmons to the Sexual Offender Management Board. The Secretary will read the report.
February 6, 2013, the Judiciary and Rules Committee reports that it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Kimberly Jo Simmons to the Sexual Offender Management Board, term to expire January 1, 2014. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate Lodge Chairman.
Senator Bach.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the committee report. Senator Bach is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President, and fellow senators. We've seen some very exceptional nominees come through our body this last few weeks, and certainly the one we've just heard about was one of those, and Kimberly Jo Simmons is another one of those. She was a very exceptional, balanced person who is an attorney, despite the fact that she's balanced. But I would say that she was comes to us very well qualified. Among those being the ability to play soccer, run, ski, biking, camping, hiking, and cooking. So she's a very active person. She's been involved in the public defender sector for quite a while, going back to Tulane Law School, where she went to law school, and has been committed to that for some time. Now, some of you may understand that the Sex Offender Management Board is a new commission or a new body that we're working with in order to deal with sexual offenders and making decisions about how sexual offenders should be classified. And one of the slots on that board is a slot for a public defender. And so that's where Kimberly Simmons fits in. I find her an exceptional candidate and urge your adoption or your approval of the nomination. With that, debate is open.
For the debate of the report of the Judiciary and Rules Committee. Hearing no, Senator Davis.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm not positive if there had been a violation of Rule 41 on exceptional words or not. I don't know if the President heard the reference to attorneys.
I did. There's an exemption. There's an attorney exemption in that rule.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Further debate. Senator Bach recognized close debate.
Mr. President, fellow senators, I used to be an attorney. I'm not practicing anymore. I'm recovering. With that, debate is closed.
Debate being closed. The question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Judiciary and Rules Committee on Kimberly Jo Simmons to the Sexual Offender Management Board? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the report has been adopted. The governor will be so notified. Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Transportation Committee on the appointment of James Coleman to the Idaho Transportation Board. The Secretary will read the report.
February 8, 2013, the Transportation Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of R. James Coleman to the Idaho Transportation Board, term to expire January 31, 2019. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Bracket Chairman.
Senator Nonini.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Buckner-Webb.
Mr. President, I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the report of the Transportation Committee. Senator Nonini is recognized. Open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow senators, let me share some information with you about R. James Coleman. We know him up in Coeur d'Alene as Jim Coleman, and some of you that know him probably know him as Jim Coleman also. He was born in Du Bois. His father and mother lived in Stanley at the time of his birth, lifelong Idaho resident. His father worked as a game warden for the state of Idaho. He's a Eagle Scout recipient. I know that the good senator from 33 would like to hear that. Jim loves working with wood in his spare time, has a shop in his basement, spends a lot of time down there. His latest and happiest job, though, is becoming a grandfather. That's what he loves spending most of his time doing, and most of his work is being a grandfather. And he says it's not really work, but I would like to share with the Senate some of his community involvement. Jim is a past chairman of the Coeur d'Alene Chamber of Commerce, past chair of the University of Idaho Engineering Advisory Board, a board of directors of the Rotary Club of Coeur d'Alene, of which I served on that board with him 20 years ago. Coeur d'Alene Spokane Regional Chair of the Cornerstone of Innovation Campaign of the U of I, past president of the NIC Foundation, board of directors of the Excel Foundation, chairman of the Idaho Engineering Education Advisory Board, past president of the Idaho Youth Soccer Association, Governor's Science and Technology Committee, chairman of the University of Idaho North Idaho Advisory Committee, tri-chair of the NIC Foundation Community Campaign, and a cabinet member of the Kroc Center. Obviously very active, very involved in his community. A couple of interesting things about Jim, a little bit more of a personal note. On his gubernatorial appointment confirmation information sheet, he was asked, to the extent you are able, list any regularly scheduled meetings you've missed. And this is Jim's reappointment. He has served one term on the board, and this is a reappointment. He has missed one meeting, May of 2012, due to the birth of the grandson I mentioned earlier, but he joined most of the meeting by telephone. So very dedicated in that regard. In my 8 years in the House and serving on the Transportation Committee, I got to know Jim quite well in that regard. He was always willing to sit down with any of we legislators from North Idaho, in fact, to the point that he would visit with our constituents if we wanted him to on education issues. Jim Coleman's just a solid guy, and just very excited that the gentleman on the second floor has reappointed him. And with that, Mr. President, debate is open.
For the debate, Senator
Mr.
Getty.
President, to debate.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow senators, Jim Coleman is also a friend of mine. He's an engineer of superb ability. He has helped the state of Wyoming schools be built at a substantial difference in cost. He's done lots of things in that area that really are credible. I guess I'd also suggest that one of his other accomplishments is creating a daughter who is an engineer, a graduate of Princeton, maybe the mother of the grandchild, I'm not sure. And as to his service on the chamber board, he preceded me as chairman, and I didn't figure out why the big smile when he passed me the gavel for about 2 weeks. Thank you.
For the debate on the committee report. Here, no further debate. Senator Nonini is recognized. Closed debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Debate's closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, so the Senate adopt the report of the Transportation Committee on the appointment to James Coleman to the Idaho Transportation Board. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has, for final consideration, the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Tom Limbaugh to the Idaho Industrial Commission. The Secretary will read the report.
February 8, 2013, The Commerce and Human Resources Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Thomas E. Limbaugh to the Idaho Industrial Commission, term to expire January 14, 2019. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Tippett, Chairman.
Mr. President,
Senator Pierce.
I move the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Buckner Webb.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded that the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resource Committee on the appointment of Tom Limbaugh to the Idaho Industrial Commission. Senator Pierce is recognized to open debate.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, Mr. Limbaugh has been on the Industrial Commission since 2001. He initially served in the House body for a year or so and then became an Industrial Commissioner. He was also, from 1999 to 2001, he was the Idaho Bureau of Occupational Licenses Bureau Chief. He's been mayor of Fruitland from 1994 to 2010, so he served a long time there as mayor. Did a good job. He's a fourth-generation Idahoan. He met his wife at the University of Idaho. They were married the next year when he graduated. He's been married to her for 33 years. He has 4 children. When I asked him what he felt was his major accomplishment, he said helping form the advisory committee of stakeholders. And then he made another comment that I think is important for us to hear and remember. He said government is the servant, not the master. And that's been his philosophy in that calling, and I think that's very important. He'll be continue to be an excellent industrial commissioner. I encourage your aye vote. Debate is open.
Further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Pierce is recognized to close debate.
Thank you. Debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resource Committee on the appointment of Tom Limbaugh to the Idaho Industrial Commission? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified. The Senate now has for final consideration the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Diana Bishop to the Idaho Personnel Commission. The Secretary will read the report.
February 8, 2013, the Commerce and Human Resources Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Diana M. Bishop to the Idaho Personnel Commission, term to expire July 1, 2018. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. Tippett's Chairman.
Senator Nuxel.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Buckner Webb.
Mr. President, I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded that the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resource Committee. Senator Nuxel is recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I am pleased to nominate Diana Bishop from Orfino, a well-qualified candidate to serve as Idaho Personnel Commission's appointment to the Idaho Personnel Commission. Her term of appointment is 6 years, December 6, 2012 to July 1, 2018. She actually has already served as a personnel management specialist for the U.S. Forest Service from April of 1998 to July 2nd of 2007. She will utilize her background by assisting the state of Idaho on the Idaho Personnel Commission. She has had a background in this personnel management for 33 years with the U.S. Forest Service again, and would like to use her experience to assist the state of Idaho in making the best decisions involving employees who have had allegations made regarding their behavior and/or their performance, and ensuring that no one is wrongfully fired. Her passion and work career reflect her affinity for helping workers sort out personnel issues as they relate to their work environment. She obtains great satisfaction from helping employees sift through working environment issues such as the right training for an existing position, promotion, or equalization in the workplace. On a personal note, her and her husband have traveled to Russia and adopted a special needs Russian child, and he's already 16. I urge your support of the nominee. The debate is open.
Further debate on the committee report. Hearing no further debate, Senator Nuxel is recognized to close debate.
The debate is closed. Thank you.
Debate being closed. The question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the Commerce and Human Resources Committee on the appointment of Diana Bishop to the Idaho Personnel Commission? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted. The governor will be so notified. The Senate now has for final consideration the report of the State Affairs Committee on the appointment of Gavin Gee to the Idaho Endowment Fund Investment Board. The Secretary will read the report.
February 8, 2013, the State Affairs Committee reports it has had under consideration the gubernatorial appointment of Gavin Gee to the Idaho Endowment Fund Investment Board, term to expire April 11, 2016. The committee recommends that said appointment be confirmed by the Senate. McKenzie, Chairman.
Senator Durst.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adopt the committee report.
Senator Fulcher.
I second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. The Senate adopt the committee report. Senator Durst recognized to open debate on the committee report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise in support and urge the Senate to support the reappointment of Gavin Gee to the 4-year term for the Idaho Endowment Fund Investment Board, Investment Fund. And just a quick little background on Gavin, as most of us know him as the Director of the Department of Finance. Beyond having a good handle on the Department of Finance and having impeccable choice on location to live in beautiful District 18, Gavin comes with him a lot of experience in this area. He served on this fund board for nearly 2 decades. He's going to continue to serve on this board and provide a lot of service to the state of Idaho. He'll be able to provide also the background of coming from the Department of Finance and understanding what's going on there. Gavin, as many of you know, is a native Idahoan. He has a law degree from the U of I, which is a Bronco I won't hold against him. But he has done great things for this board. He'll be a great asset, and I urge your support.
Debate being open. Is there further debate? Hearing no further debate, Senator Durst is recognized to close debate.
Mr. President, debate is closed.
Debate being closed. Question is, will the Senate adopt the report of the State Affairs Committee on the appointment of Gavin Gee to the Idaho Endowment Fund Investment Board? All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The report has been adopted, and the governor will be so notified. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent in advance of the 15th order of business.
Without objection, Senate advance 15th order of business, miscellaneous business, and adjournment.
For a couple of announcements.
Senator?
For an announcement.
You have the floor.
Or two. Just a reminder again that we do contemplate coming in Thursday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We'll work for a little bit. It is our intent to come in the remainder of the week starting at 10:30 a.m. So if you will put that on your calendar and plan accordingly. So we'll soon adjourn to 10:30, and I ask if you have introductions or announcements.
The President has an announcement. Our beloved secretary has rejoined us up in the gallery, Janine Wood, and she's made me very nervous ever since she came in for fear I would mess up. So, Senators, please welcome our former secretary. Further announcements. Senator Keogh.
Mr. President, I'd like for the Senate to join me in welcoming a constituent of mine, David Brinkman. He serves on the school board in Boundary County, which is as far north as you can go and still be in our great state. Please join me in welcoming David.
Senator Lodge.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good Senators, I still have a couple places open for the CCA tour tomorrow. We will leave right after adjournment, and we will be back before the 3 o'clock meeting. So if you have an interest in seeing a prison, the inside of a prison, then please join us tomorrow. Lunch will be provided. Thank you.
Further announcements. Senator Fulcher.
President, good Senators, I was asked to clarify on the social calendar. I think there was an error. Apparently, the Faith Impact Day lunch was identified on today's date. That's actually supposed to be the 21st. And so if you're following that social calendar, the Faith Impact Day is on the 21st of February, not today. Thanks, Mr. President.
Further announcements. Senator Winder.
Mr. President, we do have some items in the 14th order. It's our intent to do those on Thursday morning. So we do have the two amendments proposed. If there's anything for 1018, please have it into the Secretary by Wednesday, 4 p.m. Thank you.
Further announcements. Senator Davis.
Mr. President, I move that the Senate adjourn till the hour of 10:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Senator Stinnett.
Mr. President, second the motion.
Moved and seconded. The Senate adjourn till 10:30 tomorrow. All in favor say aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.